Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. The 1st of November, All Saints' Day, is widely celebrated in Poland. The Catholic faithful attend Holy Mass and visit cemeteries. There they tend the graves of their loved ones, light candles and pray for their souls.
Kościół pielgrzymujący, my na ziemi tutaj jesteśmy.
We, still living on earth, are the pilgrim church, meaning we are still on our way to the end of our days. There is also the suffering church in purgatory, those who have passed away and need our prayers to go to heaven. We are the ones in the middle. We look at the saints, we live with the hope of salvation, but we also pray for the dead who may need our prayers to help them go to heaven and have them be our guides to heaven. We can do anything if we can make a person go from purgatory to heaven. What more is there to be done by such a simple act of prayer with this intention? But often, on our part, it is also an expression of love for these people. They have gone, and yet they live in us, and that is why we can express this love for them.
Żyją w nas i dlatego możemy wyrazić tę miłość do nich.
The Octave of All Saints is a time of special prayer for souls suffering in purgatory. On All Saints and All Souls Days, under the usual conditions, we can provide an indulgence for the soul of the deceased for a pious visit to the church or chapel and the recitation of certain prayers. In addition, from November 1st to November 8th, a pious visit to the cemetery is held to help the souls of the dead and to pray for them. This is a unique aid that we can offer for those who have gone to the eternal life, but who still need to be purified.
The head of the Polish Episcopal Conference, Archbishop Stanisław Gadecki, offered a word of gratitude to the faithful on the occasion of All Saints' Day. During his address, the Archbishop emphasised the joyful nature of the first period of the liturgical year.
A fundraiser for antique cemeteries is one of the Polish traditions that are part of All Saints' Day. The money raised during the collections is intended for the renovation of old graves. Jerzy Waldorf's Social Committee for the Care of Old Powązki Cemetery has saved nearly 1,500 monuments and chapels so far. This wouldn't be possible without the volunteers supporting the initiative. One of them is Emilia Krakowska, an actress who said that she came today to thank an amazing writer, Władysław Reymont.
Jest takie piękne słowo.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a very beautiful expression. Thank you. We have to know who we thank and why we're thankful. We have to thank every person that touches our lives. I would like to thank Mr. Reymont not because he was an outstanding poet, but because the Peasants movie came out thanks to him, and that's where I met many amazing people.
Dziękuję panu Reymontowi.
The committee restored 40 graves this year. Among those collecting donations at the Powązki Cemetery today were not only well-known figures, but also young people and volunteers who continued the family tradition of fundraising. We are students of School Complex No. 3 in Tomaszów Mazowiecki. We wanted to join the initiative to save the graves at the Powązki Cemetery. We're collecting money to renovate the graves at the Powązki Cemetery. For the renovation of graves. Because we have to do something. First of all, our mom was helping to collect money, then we joined it. My sister joined it too. Now my wife and my daughter, so the four of us are helping now. The goal, we see the goal in front of me, renovated graves. The fundraiser at the Old Powązki Cemetery will continue on Saturday and Sunday, November 2nd and 3rd. Last year, volunteers collected over 235,000 zloty.
The recent American film, Unplanned, which tells the story of an abortionist who converts to Catholicism and works to promote anti-abortion movements, is dividing viewers. The documentary drama is based on a novel by Abby Johnson, who was the youngest director of an abortion clinic before she became a pro-life activist. The film has attracted a lot of attention in Poland and is praised by many Catholics.
Dokumentalnie opowiedziana historia, jeden do jednego, dokładnie.
The film is a documentary precisely portraying the story of Abby Johnson, who was the youngest ever director of an abortion clinic. Since she was very engaged in the Planned Parenthood project, she strongly believed that abortions helped women. She encouraged lots of them to go through with it. She graduated psychology, so she was very persuasive. The original character on which the movie is based is a converted Catholic. We have pictures from the producers about her. They began each day with a prayer, holding hands together, asking for this film to move as many people as possible.
Natomiast mamy zdjęcia od producentów.
The Spanish general election is heating up, with both the right-wing's People's Party and the National Conservative Vox Party having launched their election campaigns yesterday. The main political issue, discussed at both events, was the violence and separatist demands rocking the established order in Catalonia.
The upcoming election is the result of the inability of the ruling Spanish Socialist Workers' Party to form a coalition government after the previous election, which took place on the 20th of April this year. To win a majority in parliament, the Socialists had hoped to reach a coalition government with a number of separatist parties, but found their demands unacceptable. Since the election in April, the right-wing People's Party has risen from 16.7% to around 22 to 23% in the opinion polls. Party leader Pablo Casado said at the campaign launch, "The People's Party is the guarantee that Spain remains united, and that is why we have proposed a recovery of Spain's role in Catalonia. And for that we have said clearly that the Catalan regional leader, Mr. Torra, cannot be the head of the regional government for one more minute while there is violence in streets, and while Catalans cannot go out onto the streets, while students can't go to university, and while police are beaten. He cannot be there for another minute." Santiago Abascal, the leader of the Vox Party, launched his campaign in Catalonia and spoke at length about the issue of separatism. "We know that what is happening in Catalonia will not be resolved in one day, not even with the immediate application of the law. It will take decades, generations to restore what all these scoundrels have destroyed. It will be a long time to restore their relationships destroyed between Catalans and between Catalans and the rest of Spain. You are the ones we are not going to abandon. Millions of Spaniards in every corner of our country, people who are worried about their lives, small family issues, but before everything else, they have the main problem, and that is the unity and permanence of our country." Vox received 10.3% of the votes in April, but later fell to 7 to 8% in the opinion polls. After the recent unrest in Catalonia, Vox are now polling at 12 to 14%. The election will take place on November 10th.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.